Hello and welcome to National Park Wild. I'm Eric, and thank you for 200 subscribers. I'm so happy about this, guys. Now, here is the special. I'm answering would you rather questions that you guys gave me. These were all great questions. I'll give my full thoughts, and at the end of the video I have a huge announcement for the channel, so stay tuned for that. Now let's begin the questions. Okay, the first two questions come from Jim Meyer. Thank you, Jim. So the first one is if I'd rather spend a week in my #1 favorite park or in a park I've never been to before. That is a good question. It kind of depends on which park it is. But I think my favorite park, by the way, is Yellowstone. That's my #1. I think I would say that that's the one I would take. I'd rather spend a week in Yellowstone than in one of the ones I haven't been to, even though there's some great ones I haven't been to for sure. Acadia, Gates of the Arctic, other beautiful Alaska parks, but that's what I'm going to go with. Alright, his other question is if I would rather be a ranger at my favorite park or my least favorite park to make it better. This one would definitely be my favorite. I'd rather be a ranger at Yellowstone than a ranger at Gateway Arch. Gateway Arch Ranger sounds like it could have some fun stuff, but I would love to be at Yellowstone working there for a while. That's definitely going to be my choice for this one. The next question is from Cave Attorney. It is if I'd rather hike Harding Icefield or if I'd rather do like a cruise of Kenai Fjord, see glaciers and whales and all that. Both sound like really great things, honestly, but I think I would rather honestly do the Harding Icefield hike. It sounds really amazing. I love doing the sea cruises and seeing marine life, but I'm gonna have to go with Harding Icefield on this one. Tough call though, for sure. Next up, a question from Xander Gaskill. The question is if I'd rather go to Hawaii volcanoes or Haleakala. And the question's asked because Xander is going to Hawaii. Okay, so I've been to both of these parks, and I love both almost equally. But I do prefer Hawaii volcanoes. Haleakala Crater is beautiful and I love the coastal area as well, but volcanoes, I'm a lot more into the geothermal and volcanic features in parks. That's why I love Yellowstone so much, so I'm gonna have to go with Hawaii volcanoes. And as to which one I'd rather go back to, still Hawaii volcanoes, because I never actually saw lava when I went. But still, both are great, and that's my answer to that question. This next set is from Kevin Strahl. He asks if I've been to Great Basin National Park, and yes, I have been to Great Basin. What did I think? Really underrated place. It's beautiful. Not many people there. The mountains are fantastic. I did not get to go to the caves, and the only hike I got to do was the Glacier Bristlecone one. So the would you rather question is quite good. If I'd rather climb a high mountain or go in caves. That works with Great Basin, honestly. And between Wheeler Peak and the Lemon Caves, I think I'd have to go with I'd probably rather see the mountains. Because I do prefer mountains to pretty much any other type of scenery. That's my personal preference. It's different for others, but I'd rather do Wheeler Peak than the Lemon Caves, and overall a mountain tour over a cave tour would be my choice. Alright, the next question is from Harrison Schwartz. This one is, would I rather go to no international national parks, but also get to go to American ones, or never go to another American national park but get to see all the other ones around the world? That's tough. I've seen a lot less that are outside of the US than I have in the US, but I've seen so many great things in the US and I'd love to go back to those. And to never get to go to one of them again, that would be so tough. But to give up on never getting the chance to see places outside like the Great Croatia Park or the ones in New Zealand or Patagonia, there's so many amazing places outside of the US that I haven't been to, while I've been to a lot of the ones in the US, so I think I'd rather never go to an American park again than never go to a different national park. Really good question though. Probably the toughest one yet. Alright, the final two questions, they come from Josh Hennings, and this is an interesting one. Would I rather only go to California parks or only the Utah parks? I've been to all the Utah and California parks, and there are definitely a lot more in California, and I also think, because there's some really amazing ones and ones I haven't seen a whole lot of, I think I'm probably going to go with California. I'd love to get back to Death Valley, Channel Islands for sure, and ones I didn't get to see much of like Kings Canyon. And then in Utah, I didn't spend a ton of time in some like Capitol Reef and in Zion. I'd like to go back to those, but I'm going to say California. And the second question is if I'd rather only get to go to Yosemite but not Zion, or Zion but not Yosemite. That is the toughest question. I think the one about American or non-American parks is tough, but this is the toughest question I've seen. Okay. The reason being, I've done a lot more in Yosemite, but I also like Yosemite a bit better. Zion, I've done Angel's Landing. I haven't done Narrows or a whole lot of other stuff, but I really wouldn't want to say I would want to go back to one and not the other, but I haven't done Half Dome or Narrows, and both of those seem like great hikes that could be a bit tough, but also ones I'd love to do sometime. I've seen more of Yosemite, but there's more to see in Yosemite than Zion, so it's really tough. I think, though it could go either way, depending on the criteria I use, I'm going to say I'd rather get to go to Zion but not Yosemite, because there's a lot more that I know about that I would get to do that's like not off beaten path. Things like Narrows that are really well known, I'd love to do that, and also because I've been to Zion twice, and both trips were shorter than my 3 Yosemite ones. I think I would like to see more of Zion than Yosemite because there's a lot more I could see. And that's all the questions. Those are some really good ones. Thanks, guys. Now for the big announcements. I have 2 really good summer trips planned to national parks. I have my Theme Park Avenue channel, but I'm kind of taking a break on theme parks for a while, and I'm really going to do a lot of national park stuff. So soon, I'm going to be going to Isle Royale and Voyageurs. Gonna do some houseboating there, and go to both Rock Harbor and Wendigo and Isle Royale. I'm really excited to go there and have a good time. And now, for a really, really surprising trip. I haven't talked much about it at all, or talked about it at all at that, but I'm going to be going to Alaska again. And instead of going to Denali, Kenai Fjords, and Wrangell St. Elias, I'm doing those 3 again, and the other 8 Alaska National Parks. I'm doing all 8 of them total. All 8 Alaska National Parks this summer, and I'm definitely going to rank them all once I come back. This is going to be a really fun, really awesome summer, and I cannot wait to make videos about those. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for 200 subscribers. I will see you guys next time.